You paid the rent, right?
I did.
Hey, what, motherfucker? Oh, you look real alopecia today.
Do you have the rent?
What do YouTube? Welcome back to another Movie Fanatics video. And today we are going to be reviewing the new movie, One of Them Days. Before we get started, please be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, and most definitely share. We're making history right here on the channel. We're going to be doing, I would think, our first chick flick movie with One of Them Days, starring Keke Palmer and SZA. It took me a while to actually get the name SZA down. I'm not really a big fan of the artist and the music. Like, I literally just listened to like 3 or 4 songs the other day. One rang a bell, but the others, Keke Palmer, I think the last thing that I've probably invested my time in with Keke Palmer was probably the incident with Usher. I think that was the last thing that I invested my time in with Keke Palmer. But One of Them Days, this movie was produced by TriStar Pictures, and it was associated with Hooray Media. Now, this was directed by Lawrence Lamont, and the screenplay was by Sarita Singleton. Now, One of Them Days is a movie basically about two roommate girls that have their rent due. Landlord is very strict about it being paid on the first of the month. So this character, Alyssa, she has a boyfriend named Keyshawn, where he takes the rent money and invests it into a private business for himself. And throughout the movie, Keke Palmer's character, Drew, and SZA's character, Alyssa, are trying to figure out exactly how they're going to be able to scrape up the funds to be able to pay their rent. Which, honestly, who hasn't had one of these days had a time of their life where rent has been due and they may end up being a little bit short? I know I have. Back in my teen days, like, I got an apartment very young, and I remember having one of my first cars was a Honda. But anyway, so went to the Western Union, got a cashier's check, had the rent money, even the cashier's check in my pocket. Bad part was I had the receipt of the Western Union check attached to the actual check. Check falls out my pocket. Lose the whole check. At the time, I believe rent was like $1,200 or something like that. So I'm not going to tell you the end of this story, but like I said, everybody has a moment like this where rent is always due. But as far as the movie is concerned, it's definitely a relatable movie, if we're being honest. There are one of my biggest pet peeves about movies, I will say, is that I am not on board with negative stereotypes. And I feel like that was a good little twist during the course of this movie, where it had a whole bunch of black stereotypes to it. And it began as a negative, but then it became a positive, which I feel like that is a plus for this actual movie. But for it to be an actual chick flick, and us having to go through the trials and tribulations of these two characters, with Drew and Alyssa, one trying to uplift the other, and one trying to motivate the other. I could say, is it one of my top 5 chick flick movies? No, but I will probably say it's definitely a movie that wasn't bad. Like, what else am I supposed to say about this thing? Like, it's a typical cliche movie that happens to be about rent. But hey, be sure to go ahead and check out the movie. Leave your comments down below. Try to make this as non-spoilers as possible. You know what it is. If you enjoy the content, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This is the Movie Fanatics. I'm up out of here, man.